You ever wake up to the kind of day that makes you question if you're still dreaming? Or if you've stumbled into some twisted reality show and everyone forgot to give you the script? That was me. 6:10 in the morning, truck still humming from an all-night drive. Dust from Montana barely settled on my boots. The sun wasn't even up all the way, just that pale, bleeding sky, quiet as a held breath. And there it was, a giant, ugly HOA auction sign hammered right into my front pasture. The place where my father's ashes hadn't even cooled yet. My pasture. And if that wasn't enough, two strangers in neon vests, clipboards, cameras, the works, marching around like they'd just inherited the place, snapping photos of my barn, my cattle, my dad's windmill, cataloging everything I loved like it belonged to somebody else. And then, like some twisted punctuation mark, here comes Karen Whitfield, president of the Maplewood Heights HOA, waving her phone in my face like it was a sheriff's badge. She goes, "Mr. Morrison, you're trespassing on HOA property." I just stood there, wondering if this was actually happening. Me, trespassing, on the same dirt 3 generations of my family bled for. I didn't even have the words yet, just that sick, rolling feeling in my gut. They figured I'd be gone long enough to erase a whole legacy. Thought I'd just fold after losing my father. Yeah, well, they picked the wrong rancher. Before I dive in, let me ask you, where are you watching from? Drop your city and your time down below, and if you've got an HOA horror story, trust me, you're not alone. This one is for anyone who ever had their life appended by a clipboard and a bad attitude. When my father died, I promised him he'd rest beneath the old cottonwood, the one where he taught me to ride, back when my boots barely touched the stirrups. That tree was the heart of this place, the same 47 acres my grandfather fenced by hand in '67. This land was our story. Every inch of it worked, sun up to sundown, through fire and drought and taxes. Never once did we bow to an HOA. Wasn't in our blood. But when I left for Montana, my daughter Emma stayed behind. She's tougher than she looks, got her mama's hair and my stubborn streak. "Don't worry, Dad," she told me. "The land knows who it belongs to." Funny, right? That line aged about as well as a carton of milk in the sun. See, while I was gone, the HOA, Maplewood Heights, that shiny slice of suburbia creeping up to my south fence, decided my place was abandoned. Karen had been gunning for my land for months. Complained about the manure, the tractor, the driveway, even the sound of cattle. You ever met someone allergic to common sense? That's her. But she didn't just complain. She called an emergency meeting the day after my father's funeral, told the board I'd vacated, and claimed, get this, that their covenant gave them the right to seize unmaintained property. She just made it up, wrote her own forfeiture letter, mailed it to herself, and called it legal. That's not just petty. That's criminal. Emma called me, her voice shaking, said, "Dad, there are people in the field. They're measuring the barn, putting up a sign, HOA auction." My hands went numb. Told her, "Stay inside, lock the doors, film everything." There I was, standing in Montana, staring at my father's grave, listening to some stranger's voice echo across my daughter's phone, barking HOA terms on my land. Something broke in me right then. I got in my truck and drove all night. No music, no stops, just rage. Somewhere around Cheyenne, I started connecting the dots. Karen wasn't just on a power trip. She ran a real estate consultancy on the side, rumor was, and my ranch was the last piece keeping her from expanding Maplewood Heights. She'd find me before, for my tractor, my barn, whatever, but now, she wanted the whole thing. When I pulled in before sunrise, the first thing I saw was my dad's old red barn, and right in front, that auction sign, with my parcel number for the world to see. 2 men in vests tried to wave me off. "Restricted area," they said. I stepped out, boots crunching gravel, and stared them down. "This land's been Morrison property since Lyndon Johnson was president," I told them. Karen strutted out, phone in hand, pearls shining. "Mr. Morrison, you're back early," she said, trying to play it cool. "You're trespassing," she snapped. Claimed the ranch was forfeited under HOA authority. Told me I owed $47,000 in fines. Then she called 911 and told them there was an armed trespasser. Like I was robbing a bank, not defending my home. Within minutes, a patrol car pulled up, Deputy Maria Santos. She took one look at me and asked for my papers. I handed over the deed, the tax receipts, even the original 1967 boundary survey. Karen started waving her own folder, claiming they'd annexed my parcel. Maria flipped through it, eyes narrowing. "Where's the county seal?" she asked. "This isn't enforceable. Ma'am, you can't annex private property without county approval. This is a civil matter." Karen went red, swore she'd see me in court, and stormed off. Maria leaned in and told me, "She's walking a thin line, Jake. Get a lawyer and document everything." That's exactly what I did. The next morning, Bill Foster, my neighbor, retired surveyor, showed up. He handed me a printed email from Karen, calling me a hostile squatter. Bill grinned. "Clerk says she tried to file something, but it bounced back, missing verification. She was faking legal documents, plain as day." An hour later, Karen rolled up in her black Lexus, with board members and a man in khakis. Emma whispered, "Dad, they brought backup." The man in khakis claimed I owed $47,000 in code violations, even had a signature from me on a revised covenant. Only problem? I write in block letters. Always have. I laughed, right there on the porch, and told him to practice his forgery skills. Karen tried to run a kangaroo court, claimed I'd get my hearing. I told her, "Don't worry, I'll bring plenty of evidence." Deputy Maria showed up again, saw through their paperwork, and told Karen to leave. That's when Emma stepped out and said, "I posted the video." Turns out, Tommy from next door helped her upload it. Karen trespassing, yelling about forfeiture. By noon, it had 50,000 views. By dinner, 200,000. Channel 9 News called. Denver Post called. The internet was on my side for once. Then came the emergency board meeting. I went. The Maplewood Community Hall was lit up like a courtroom, fluorescent lights, 5 board members on a stage. Karen in the middle, pearls gleaming, gavel in hand. "Mr. Morrison, this hearing will determine whether your property remains under HOA authority," she announced. I set my deed on the table and told her, "It doesn't, and it won't." They tried to railroad me, claimed my parcel was within their new boundaries, said they had a board vote. Patricia Vance, one of the board members, piped up quietly, "His parcel's never been listed under our jurisdiction." Karen shot her a glare. I pulled out the original survey, county seal and all. My fence hadn't moved an inch in 58 years. Bill testified, even brought in the faded map he'd helped make. For the first time, Karen's confidence cracked. The meeting turned into a circus, neighbors whispering, board members glancing at each other. I had a GoPro on my chest, filming everything. Karen's jaw dropped when she realized it. Bill rolled out the real county map. Emma had uploaded drone footage of our boundary survey, and Tommy live-streamed the whole thing. HOA gets schooled by rancher and old surveyor. The internet went wild. Sarah Chun, an attorney from Denver, reached out after watching the video. She went through my documents and found it. Forged signatures, fake boundary extensions, a real estate scam hiding behind HOA paperwork. Karen and her vice president owned a private real estate company. They'd planned to flip my land for a 6% commission. Pure greed. Sarah filed an injunction, freezing HOA actions, sent complaints to the DA, and called in the feds. Karen still wouldn't quit. Posted on the Maplewood forum, rallied supporters, even staged a community cleanup in front of my ranch. Tommy filmed everything. That clip made national news. Then the FBI called. They'd launched an investigation. When they showed up with the sheriff's office, Karen lost her mind. They confiscated files, froze assets, the whole 9 yards. Within weeks, the board had crumbled. Jennifer Walsh, the secretary, turned whistleblower. Bill brought the final proof. The judge declared my land independent, nullified every fake amendment, and set up a legal fund for victims of HOA abuse, paid for by the assets seized from Karen and her partners. That's what real justice looks like. Emma, my stubborn, brilliant kid, became a legend. The HOA hacker, they called her. Tommy's videos hit millions of views. Donations poured in for the Morrison Property Rights Fund. Even the mayor showed up at our ownership day barbecue, gave me a framed copy of the county's ruling. Full circle. The day after the verdict, I walked out to the cottonwood tree where my father rests. Held the original deed in my hands, his signature still smudged by old oil and sweat. "Looks like we won, Dad," I said. Took a while, but we got there. The land was quiet again. The air tasted of promise. And you know what? If there's a lesson in all this, Besides keeping every scrap of paperwork, it's this: the law doesn't mean much if you don't stand up for what's right. People like Karen pop up everywhere, thinking a clipboard makes them king. But if you fight with facts, with patience, with a little humor, you can outlast any bully. Revenge isn't about getting loud. It's about being right longer. If you've ever stared down a petty tyrant, HOA or otherwise, share your story below. And if you like seeing karma served up cold, stick around, hit subscribe. Trust me, this isn't the last story worth telling.